Welcome to the Village Employee Assistance Program. Your organization's EAP is a collection of services around short-term wellness counseling. And so with that, if you access any of these services, your coworkers wouldn't know, your household members wouldn't know, nor would your supervisors know. It's confidential. In addition, also understand that it's available 24/7, 365, and it's a resource for you. Your company has an EAP with the Village because it's difficult for us, as you know, to be fully productive at work when you're dealing with personal issues, as it is difficult if your household members are dealing with any personal issues. So it's a win-win for you and your organization to have this robust EAP benefit.
And remember, the cost of the Employee Assistance Program is free to you as an employee and all of your household members. Some of the reasons you may access the Employee Assistance Program would be for relationship issues, so marriage-couple conflicts, parent-child conflicts, single-parent issues. Some of the other things would be for emotional health, and this is you dealing with yourself. You know when you want to talk to someone, and this is a way for you to be able to do that. So personal adjustment problems, emotional problems, guilt, self-esteem, things like that. Next is drug and alcohol issues that are covered under the program, our education, and dealing with kids and the prevention of drug and alcohol issues, all the way to assessments and evaluations are covered under this program. Now remember that treatment's not included into the program, but we do post-treatment counseling. Now, one of the most needed, I think, least used areas is workplace issues. This is dealing with difficult coworkers, dealing with stress of work, and even just balancing your home life and your work life can be real difficult sometimes. So we want to make sure that you have an avenue to be able to get those things taken care of through your Employee Assistance Program.
Another part of your Employee Assistance Program is financial counseling. It covers debt management, money management, budgeting, student loan repayment, student loan planning, maybe even counseling towards a financial goal. So the financial services is a great way to take care of a financial crisis, or it doesn't have to be a crisis. It could be taking an objective look at a retirement plan or something like that. Anything to do with help with money. In addition, we have legal services in the EAP, and that includes anything from family law to civil law. So divorce, custody, wills, that kind of thing, neighborhood disputes, property disputes would all be covered. Initially, you're connected telephonically with a lawyer from your area. And then from there, if you go forward with legal action, you get a 25% discount on your services. So it's a great way to take care of those legal questions. Another area that is covered is we have some wellness services available to you. So wellness education classes like stress management, anger management, drug and alcohol education, mindfulness, any of those classes, a parenting class, could be taken if there's a local community class available and or a village class. You can take that class through your Employee Assistance Program. We also have nutrition counseling, a health risk assessment, and of course our wellness website, thevillageeap.com, which is on your blue card that you get from your HR director or online. And with that, all you need to do is log in either your company ID or My Wellness. And from there, you're into our EAP site, which is a great place with really good wellness information. In addition, the introduction is there, and the newsletters are archived there as well.
So when you decide to call our Employee Assistance Program, just dial the 1-800 number. Give us your name, your address, your employer, and also give us a brief description of the concern you're having. At that point, we'll be able to set you up with a counselor. The Village has a number of its own offices. We also have an affiliate provider network that's nationwide. During this, we'll be able to get you set up with the correct style counselor and be able to make sure that you have access to the help that you want. What a session is a 50-minute meeting with a counselor. It's a meeting with one of our financial counselors, whether it be face-to-face, by phone, or by internet. Or it's what we call law phone, the legal counseling, with a 30-minute consultation with an attorney. One thing that's nice is you do have the ability possibly for web-based counseling. Know that there's a number of different ways for us to be able to help with any concerns that you're having. Number of sessions that you have available to you are 4 sessions per household member with a minimum of 8. So one person in the household would have 8, two would have 8, 3 would have 12, and 4 would have 16, and so on. Now these are pooled together so the household can use them as they need to. In a household of 4 with 16 sessions, if one person needed to use all 16 up to that total number, they could. It's up to the household to use those sessions how they want to.
Remember that the 800 number is also a crisis line. And so in a time of crisis, it is available 24/7. We really want you to remember that in times of struggle or you have issues in your life, we really want you to encourage you to call our 800 number and make an appointment. Also know that there's always an opportunity to get more information on our EAP site, or you can call our 800 number. In addition, your HR office could be a contact for information along with your supervisor. We really do stand by the model that when you make a phone call to our 800 number, it's always, always a sign of courage and never a sign of weakness. Here are a couple stories from our counselors living out the mission of the village through the Employee Assistance Program.
My name's Andy and I'm an EAP counselor here at the village. One of the really cool things about the EAP program is that family members and household members of people who have the benefit can also utilize our EAP counseling services. So I actually work with a lot of kids and adolescents and families as well as just individuals. One of the success stories that I have is an adolescent who I was working with. He came in and he was really struggling with depression and self-harm at that time. So of course his parents and family were worried as well. We actually got to work together for like 5 months, and one of the really cool things was throughout that 5-month period building a lot of trust with him. So he was able to talk to me about some of the really difficult experiences he's had in his life, and I got to help facilitate him being able to be open and talk with his parents about those experiences as well. So they got to build trust and openness in their relationship too. By the time that we were done seeing each other, he hadn't harmed himself in 2 months, which was awesome. It far surpassed the goal that we had even set for him. His relationship with his parents was in like the best place it had ever been. So one of the joys of my job is getting to work with families and have collaboration in what I do and see people's relationships strengthen and then watch them feel happier and healthier because of it.
So my name is Katie Figueres. I am an EAP counselor here at the Village Family Service Center. If you think about your EAP, a lot of times we think about how we can only access services when something significant is going on in our lives, where that's simply not the case. If you go to a medical provider and get a physical, you can do the same with a counselor, except getting a mental health checkup instead. Looking at where you are emotionally, mentally, maybe if there's a few small improvements here or there you'd like to make, you can absolutely do that. It can be difficult to want to access something, especially if we feel that we can handle everything on our own, or we should be able to handle those things on our own. And one story that I can think of is when a client came in and she continuously waited to access her EAP, even though she had it, given that she felt like I should be able to handle this on my own, regardless of all the stresses going on in her life. She had 3 kids and worked a couple of different jobs, volunteered for quite a few different things, felt so overwhelmed, and was even thinking about quitting her job at that point in time due to the decreased workplace and performance. So once she did come in and see me, we worked for about 4 to 5 months together, and she was able to have really great success. She was able to utilize the tools that we talked about, had different ways to manage her stress in her life, and at the end of that, after the end of the sessions we had together, ended up actually getting an award for most improved employer in her workplace, which was really cool to see, especially given that where she was when she first came in to where she was when she was done. And one thing I can remember that she was saying towards the end of our sessions was, I wish I was accessing these services sooner. So something to consider, that you don't have to wait until things get really difficult in life or challenging or something significant going on in your life, that you can access your EAP whenever you would like to.
So to recap for you, this is a benefit for you, the employee, and for all of your household members.
It's free and confidential.
And it's short-term personal, financial, and legal counseling.
Be well.